Do you feel unseen and unheard? Have you lost your voice and your identity due to narcissistic abuse? Do you walk on eggshells around your partner, a family member, a friend, or even a co-worker? Is there someone in your life that constantly belittles you, makes you feel small, makes you feel like your opinion doesn't matter? This could be that you have somebody in your life that is narcissistically abusive, that has narcissistic traits. The best thing to do here is to set boundaries or to walk away completely. The narcissist will steal every part of your life force energy, will steal every part of your personality till you can no longer speak, till you can no longer be your true self, because that will be gone. They take control of your life and your personality as a means of keeping you dependent on them, as a means of you never being able to walk away. Is there someone like this in your life, or has there been someone like this in your life? Because in this video, I want to explain a little bit about healing after narcissistic abuse. It's probably one of the most difficult things to do, to walk away from a narcissistic relationship. And it is a very hard journey on that healing path, but it is worth it, and you will find yourself again, and you will find your independence again. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach, and I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse. As a survivor of narcissistic abuse, I have witnessed it I've experienced it in all walks of life. My first narcissistic person was a friend when I was 16. And I finally saw it with relationships, with friends, with family members, with my bosses. It seemed to follow me everywhere, but it took me a long time to see the pattern. It took me a long time to understand what was going on, or understand why I was even attracting narcissistic partners or attracting narcissistic people into my life. This is the thing, it's only after it becomes a pattern, or only after that we've experienced it a few times, that we actually can wake up and say, this isn't right. And it takes an awful long time to be able to escape a narcissistic relationship. I'll describe a little bit about the abuse that is received through narcissistic behavior. And I was in an 8-year narcissistic relationship in my 20s. He was verbally abusive consistently. I lost all sense of self. I lost all my confidence, all ambition. I lost my ability to speak and to be who I truly was. He cut me off mid-sentence. Like when we would be in group conversations or anything like that, he'd say, he'd talk over me or tell me my opinion didn't matter because I was younger than him. I eventually just stopped talking. If you're told to shut up often enough, you shut the fuck up. If you're told you're verbally abused often enough, you just submit. You end up turning into the person that they keep telling you are. Why is that? Because they are deliberately belittling you, shitting all over your personality, taking away every bit of life force energy you have and every bit of confidence you have as a means of controlling you, as a means of keeping you codependent on them, and so that you won't leave. And this is the thing, they will make you feel so shitty, lack so much self-worth, that you think that that's what love is. You think that they love bomb you in between, they make you feel a little bit good, and then all the verbal abuse comes back again. And you realise, you just say to yourself, this is what it is. This is what love is like. And for me personally, when I was in the narcissistic relationship, I had only ever witnessed toxic relationships growing up. So I didn't have a good model of love. So I settled into this. 8 years is a long fucking time to be in a narcissistic relationship and not even know you're being verbally abused, or not even know that you're being abused in any way. Or in a toxic relationship. That is fucked up, but this is what happens. The narcissist will turn you into a childlike version of yourself, so codependent you forget how to function. I lost everything. I'm a quirky, outgoing, weird person, and my personality it's different. But I spent 8 years of my 20s like a fucking mouse. Afraid to talk, afraid of confrontation. If we had an argument, I'd apologise to him for how he spoke to me, for fear that he'd leave me. Because the reason I attracted these narcissistic relationships in the first place is because of my own childhood wounding. I obviously didn't know this at the time, But because of that, I was more vulnerable. And the narcissist preys on the vulnerable empath or the wounded person, the person with the light. You see, that's the thing. The narcissist would go for somebody with a shine, but somebody who's got a big heart. And they would prey on this. And because internally my inner child was crying out to be loved, I latched onto this. I latched onto the lies. I latched onto everything because I thought this was what love looked like. But I lost everything. I lost who I was. For almost 8 years of my life, Angela disappeared. And I didn't even realise this until we actually broke up. And the only reason I woke up to that relationship being toxic was because I suffered a trauma and I had to go to counselling for that trauma. And that the counsellor more or less said to me, you're in a toxic relationship. And it took a long time for me to actually use her advice to end. Well, I didn't even end the relationship. I just went back into myself that he eventually ended it. Do you know what I mean? I was just so voiceless that I hadn't even the power to try and end that relationship. I was literally waiting for him to do it. And he did. But this is the thing. We lose I lost every bit of ambition. He advised me not to work for those years. He took me away from my friends. And this is the thing with a narcissist. They will isolate you as a form of keeping you under their control so that you don't have an external support system to tell you this relationship is toxic. I had to wait for a trauma, a tower fucking moment, and a counsellor to tell me that I was in a toxic relationship because I didn't have that support system around me, because the narcissist will not allow for that. They will keep you isolated. They will keep you under their control. And it is such a difficult thing to even wake up to the fact that you're in a narcissistic relationship. And this is why it's always so good to get that support of friends or a counsellor, a therapist or a coach or anyone who you know you can trust. Because a lot of the times, even if you do try to leave a narcissistic relationship, if you've got mutual friends or if the narcissist has kind of an in with the family, they can actually, blacken your name. And this is what happened with me and my dad, for example. Well, actually, it happened with my ex as well. But my dad had started to develop narcissistic traits. Whether he had them all along and I didn't notice, I don't know. But after I set boundaries and walked away from him, he literally turned my brother against me by literally blackening my name, saying I had a mental disorder, saying I was crazy. And this is what they do. And that's why it's so isolating. It's isolating within the relationship because you feel like you're alone because they've taken you away from your friends. But then it becomes isolating when you're out of the relationship because they turn everyone against you. This is why it's so important to get that support, to get that help of somebody who's been through it before, or even just any supportive friend who knows the truth. And the path to healing is not easy, but it's possible. And it's very, very, very possible and very worth it to fight through what you've been through, to regain that confidence, to regain your independence, to rediscover who you are. And that's what it is. That's the beauty of healing after narcissistic abuse. You get to rediscover your true self. And I didn't even know I was gone anywhere. And with my nature narcissistic relationship, it was after we broke up that I realised that, okay, what the fuck is going on here? Why is this, this guy stole who I was? Because I started seeing myself come back. And the same thing happened with my dad. Literally, my life force was gone. My personality was gone. And it's literally afterwards, it was just he said something that I used to say. And I was just like, where the fuck am I gone? Where is my excitement gone? Where is my life force gone? Where is Angela gone? That's what I kept saying to myself. Where was she? She had disappeared. And this is how I likened it to. When you're in the depths of a narcissistically abusive relationship of any kind, it's like your true self is inside this glass box and she is voiceless, but she is banging. She is banging to get your attention and screaming at you, help me, let me out, please let me out. And that's the thing. And that's how it got so bad for me. It really got so bad for me. I've likened this to the movie Trolls Band Together, where they try to steal the troll's life force essence, their song, like. And your man is near, the troll is like practically, you know, he's lifeless. He's on the verge of death. This is what it feels like when a narcissist completely steals your energy. You feel so weak, so depleted, so empty of everything. Your soul feels like it's actually dying. That's how bad it feels. You know, to lose yourself so completely to another person of any kind. And as I said, this can be in any walk of life. Romantic, family, friendship, co-workers, bosses, they're everywhere. They really are. And the reason we have to understand the reason for that pattern. And, you know, that's the thing with me. I saw the pattern. It was friendships. It was the 2 toxic relationships in my 20s. It was taking a break from those toxic, you know, afterwards from dating that I said to myself, I need to heal. But then when I decided to date again, I attracted another narcissist and I had to leave a job due to a narcissistic boss. I was like, what's going on? And I realized it was in me. It was my inner child, my wounded inner child that was crying out for love and validation that she didn't receive when I was a child. And this is the thing. We need to start that inner healing with our inner child. Because, you know, most narcissistic relationships, it's the narcissist and an empath, but the empath usually has so much wounding from childhood that they're not even aware of, that they're so vulnerable. And that's the thing, my inner child was craving for that love, that I was living with this open heart, like massively open, and it was a naive heart, because literally I fell for the lies. And that's nothing to punish myself for. I was literally in a childlike state, crying out to be loved, and a narcissist preys on that, and they know it's easy then to turn you back into that childlike state. And this is what happened. And when I discovered inner child healing, it was it's my most life-changing healing I have ever gone through, because I got to find myself again. When you heal your inner child, you heal that love. You end up loving that inner child the way they deserve to be loved, and then you end up loving yourself the way you deserve to be loved. That is the most magical thing I've ever gone through. And like, healing is hard, like especially when it comes to inner child healing. You have to reface a lot of trauma from your childhood, a lot of trauma from the past relationships as well. And it is hard. It's probably one of the hardest journeys I've been on, but it's the most enlightening. Because you not only, like, you don't have to, it's not just about intense healing. You get to reparent your inner child. This is the beauty of it. You get to be that parent, that love for that little inner child inside you. And then you get to have fun. Certain ways of inner child healing, you know, bar the intense stuff, bar facing all that trauma, you get to be fun again. You get to bring your inner child out to play. You get to do creative things again. You just get to live again. And that's what it is. Not only are you rediscovering your true self, you're bringing your inner child out to play. So you're bringing your innocent, childlike excitement out to play as well. So you rediscover your true self, and then you get this added excitement, this added innocence, this added playfulness to it. So this is the beauty of it. Like, the healing journey after narcissistic abuse, it's long. And it's hard. This is why support is so important. That support from a therapist, a mentor, or a friend. And take it one step at a time. But start with your inner child. And before you even go heavy into the depths of the dark inner child healing and your shadow work, start playful. All you have to do is picture your inner child in front of you. See that child as a child standing in front of you looking for a parent. That's all you need to do. And be that parent for that inner child. That's the first step in your healing journey after narcissistic abuse. This is the most powerful thing you will ever do. Because in reparenting your inner child, you effectively reparent yourself. You get to love and play with that inner child the way they craved your whole life. And this just brings a new magic into your life, a new kind of colour into your life. And it helps you rediscover yourself again. And that's magical. You know, after losing your confidence, after losing your ambition, after losing your personality, after losing your whole identity, you know, you can actually regain that tenfold. You can find that independence again. You can find that love within yourself again. You can find that confidence. You can find your ambition, your purpose, your magic, just by turning that love within. By treating your inner child as if they are real, because they are, and treat them the way that they need to be treated. Because when you love your inner child, you will learn to love yourself. And then you'll see nothing but love and abundance in your life. And this is when you'll attract in that high vibrational, loving relationship, that high vibrational career, those high vibrational friends. Do you know what I mean? When you clear out the toxicity from your life, when you choose yourself, when you choose your healing journey, magic things can happen. And it all starts with reparenting your inner child. Healing after narcissistic abuse is more than possible. You can regain and find, rediscover those lost parts of yourself. And it all starts with that reparenting of your inner child. That's your first step. Learning to love yourself again. So I really hope this helps. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you would like help in your journey, please book me for a discovery call today, and I would love nothing more than to help you on your path.